So we're 2 games into the 2025 NBA Finals, and Game 1 was one of the best Finals games we've seen in recent memory. Game 2, not quite as competitive, a big bounce-back game for the Thunder, but so far, what a series we've got.
Yeah, just incredible. Game 1 was the stunner we were watching together. Incredible moment. Thunder bounced back in Game 2. Let's break down the NBA Finals 2 games in. Before we start talking about the NBA Finals 2 games in, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any new videos. Starting with Game 1, before the game even started, our first major adjustment of the series, Mark Daigneault starts Cason Wallace over Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, I personally liked the move when I first saw it. Like, if you saw our finals preview video, I was like, if OKC runs the small ball lineup, there's not many mismatches there, but still a surprise though. You're so dominant going into these finals. In some ways, why adjust your starting lineup now?
You can read into like the psychological aspect of like sports a lot, but Richard Jefferson said right away, you know, if you're the Pacers, you got to feel a little good. Like, oh, the series hasn't even started and they already have to adjust to us, right? They already have to change their lineup to what we're doing. That being said, though, it worked for the most part. So, you know, we'll see if they keep going to it.
Yeah, early in this game, OKC got off to a hot start. Buckets from Shea and Chet put them up 4-0, and then a pull-up 3 from J-Dub in transition puts them up 7-0. Paycom Center was rocking.
Paycom Center.
I'm
sorry. It'll always be Chesapeake Energy Arena to me.
Honestly, to me too.
Exactly.
Indiana immediately responds though. They go on a 10-3 run. It's capped off by an Andrew Nembhard 3. Ties the game at 10 apiece with just over 7 minutes left in the first. The problem though was Indiana in the first half at least just kept turning the ball over.
It was like a damn disease. It was just like infecting everyone. It was nonstop. I mean, I get it because the Thunder have maybe the best defense in like the last decade or whatever, but my God, 9 first quarter turnovers. It's almost 1 a minute.
Yes. Obi Toppin especially, we'll give him some praise later on. Boy, had a rough stretch to start this game.
Real bad start. My God. Comes right in and just turns it over 3 straight times. Ugh.
So the Thunder take early advantage of this. Shea closes the quarter strong. He gives you 12 points. Hartenstein, once he got subbed in, gave them some big minutes. So they take a 29-20 lead after the first.
On to the second quarter, Obi Toppin immediately hits a 3 to cut the lead down to 6. You know, rough start, but like we said, he really picked it up. At that point, AJ Mitchell got subbed in to start the quarter for the Thunder. Really surprising. I mean, he played a little bit in Game 3 against the Grizzlies in the first round, and other than that, it has just been all garbage time. Just another interesting rotation decision from Daigneault, and proved to be a mistake because he went 0 of 3 from the field in the second quarter and he fell for a Halliburton pump fake that led to a 3-pointer. So, I mean, I get it, you know, trying to shake things up, but throwing in a second round pick who barely played throughout the season it's a risk.
But after that, again, Indiana just struggling to take care of the ball. 9 first quarter turnovers. They follow that up with 10 turnovers in the second.
Yeah, it somehow got worse.
Yes.
It was baffling.
And at the time, like, it felt like there were some moments where OKC was just going to open this up. Lou Dort hit some threes. One of them pushed the lead to 13. Shea knocked down a 3 with under a minute left in the half. That pushed it to 12. But they just kind of struggled to hit some makeable shots. Indiana hung around. So still a dominant defensive performance in the first half. But what was a 12-point lead honestly could have been like 20 if they really hit some more makeable shots.
Yeah, you were saying like, oh, there's an opportunity for the Thunder to like blow the game open.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear that a couple more times throughout this video.
It kept happening.
Get used to it. Once again, in the third quarter, the Thunder, again, just couldn't quite put the game out of reach. Shea did get the first points of the second half to put the lead up to 14, but again, the Pacers, they hang around. Aaron Nesmith hits a big 3 with 8:30 left to keep him within striking distance. That gets the lead down to 10. Lead just bounced back and forth from like 12 to 13. Indiana kept getting it down to 10. There was a big sequence for Oklahoma City near the end of the quarter where Dort blocked Siakam and Hartenstein got a dunk on the other end. And again, it felt like this could be the breakthrough moment for the Thunder. You know, crowds going crazy, momentum on their side, and Thomas Bryant who's been actually great for the Pacers.
Yeah, he has.
As much as he gets memed on for like demanding the ball in the post when LeBron
Right.
broke the all-time record, like he's been fantastic for the Pacers. He responds with a dunk on Hartenstein, gets it back down to 11, and then also hits a big three from the corner a few minutes later to cut the lead down to 9. So big plays from Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, and then the Pacers, near the end of the quarter, they got down to 6 after Siakam 3, but SGA, he caps off things, hits a 3 over Ben Shepherd, so the lead is at 9. Like, again, it feels like it should be higher, but Indiana just kind of sticking around, and like a 9-point lead with Indiana, not safe whatsoever.
Nothing to them. Means nothing to them.
Now the fourth quarter, this was just wild. The Thunder actually built up their biggest lead of the game to start the quarter. Caruso got some free throws. J-Dub got a layup. He navigated a pick and roll really well. And then he got a steal on an inbounds pass from McConnell, takes it coast to coast, dunks it, pushes the lead up to 15. Once again, it feels like they're breaking through. But after that, it's the role players for the Pacers that show up. Once again, they just keep doing it, and Andrew Nembhard and one. Back-to-back threes from Obi Toppin and Miles Turner got the lead down to 8. Obi Toppin hits another 3, his 5th of the game.
When the did he develop this jump shot?
I have no idea.
I remember watching a bunch of him at Dayton and like early with the Knicks, and I swear to God, he couldn't shoot.
He was like a high flyer dunker type guy.
A slasher, right?
Yeah, but that 3 cuts the lead to 7, so shout out to him. Like we said, awful minutes to start this game, really picked it up, and then Miles Turner caps off the run with a 3. That cuts it all the way down to 4. So a 12-2 run out of nowhere. Once again, OKC, it looks like they're taking over, and the Pacers now got it down to 4. Just insane.
Worth mentioning, Miles Turner banked in that 3
Yeah,
too.
it was like a step back banking.
Yeah. Shea was able to respond though, got some free throws to push the lead back to 9 with just over 3 minutes, but down the stretch of this game, again, the role players for the Indiana Pacers. Nesmith hits a 3 to cut the lead to 6. Andrew Nembhard just hits a step back 3 right in Shea's face. I saw someone on Twitter mirrored this shot, so, it looked like he was shooting with his left hand, and I was just like, that looks like prime James Harden. Like, God damn.
Yeah, to me, it looks like Dame. Like, take your pick. Just ridiculous, though. Shea on the other end gets blocked by Siakam, so Andrew Nembhard tries a little heat check. He does another step back 3. It comes up short, but Siakam is right there. That finals experience gets the putback. We're down to 1, and then on the other end, J-Dub misses a shot. Thunder get the ball. Shea misses a shot, so it's a 1-point game. Pacers have the ball. No timeouts called, and Tyrese Halliburton hits that pull-up mid-range shot. I really thought he was going to go for the step back 3. He's been doing that all playoffs, but just what an insane moment. The Pacers do it again. Absolutely shocking. Even though they keep doing it, I'm still shocked.
Yeah, exactly.
And just Tyrese Halliburton, not on the ballot for Clutch Player of the Year.
Unbelievable.
Is the clutchest player on the planet right now.
It's not even close. This is like the clutchest playoff run ever.
Yeah, I can't think of another.
Like there was a graphic someone brought up. It was like most game winners in the last like 5 seconds of like the playoffs all time. It's like LeBron's number 1 with 8, Reggie Miller's second with 5, and Halliburton's tied at second with 5. And he's got 4 in just this playoff run.
And I gotta say, don't look at Kobe there.
Don't look at
it.
Don't do it. No, it's bad. It's not good.
Anyways, though, Thunder inbound the ball, 0.3 seconds left. Not much you can do. Miles Turner deflects it, and Indiana steals game 1. So after game 1, like any thoughts? Your prediction gonna change? I mean, you picked Indiana.
I picked game 1. Yeah, I picked them to win game 1, and then I picked the Thunder in 6. So for me, at least, we're right on track. I mean, we're right on course. Nothing wrong. But man, I'm gonna be watching game 2 like a hawk. And if that game is close as well, I think the Thunder need a big response in game 2. They need to restore a little bit of order. I mean, what killed them was the fact that they couldn't capitalize off all those turnovers they were forcing. They forced, 26 turnovers, and they got 11 points off of that. So their defense was on point. They were getting the stops that they needed. It's just they couldn't capitalize on the offensive end. I don't expect that to continue. So Indiana, you better protect the ball going forward, because if you turn the ball over 20 times again, you're probably getting blown out by 20.
Yeah, I'm basically on your side with this. I picked OKC in 5 before the series. I'm feeling like OKC 6-7 now. You lose game 1 at home, you're already in this hole, but I still feel very confident in the Thunder. So let's get into game 2. Obviously, you guys have already seen it at this point, but let's talk about it now. On to game 2. We were wondering, would OKC keep that starting lineup from game 1? And they did, so, you know, Mark Daigneault sticking to his guns there. And before we get into the actual game, we do gotta mention, we've been asking for the NBA, bring back the Larry O'Brien trophy on the court during the finals. I mean, technically they brought it back, which was just honestly a slap in the face to all us fans, because that was ridiculous. The digitally, you know, modified on the court, those small logos, it looked like shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, would you rather them not try at all, or like try but give a piss poor attempt at it? Like, I would rather them not even make the attempt than to throw that digital sludge out there on the court. And of course, like after the first quarter, it's right back to, you know, finals presented by YouTube TV. Because God forbid we ever forget that the NBA finals are presented by YouTube TV, right?
Early on in this game, OKC definitely seemed a bit rushed. Doris Burke mentioned, like, it seemed like they wanted to throw that knockout punch early, just like immediately win this game, and it led to some turnovers, so game stayed close early on. Obi Toppin hit a 3, tied the game at 17 apiece, and then Halliburton hit a 3, gave the Pacers a 20-17 lead deep in the first, but little did we know at the time he wouldn't score another field goal till 4 minutes left in the third. So early lead for the Pacers, but struggles to come for Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, and big shout out to Chet. I mean, 2 of 9 from the field and just 6 points in less than 30 minutes in game 1. He had 9 points in the first quarter alone of game 2. Hit a deep 2 near the end of the quarter, follows that up with a 3, and then finally at the end of the quarter drives in for a layup. Gotta be happy to see after the stinker he threw up in game 1. Yeah. And the Thunder lead by 6 after the first quarter. Second quarter was a quarter of runs. J-Dub, just like Chet, was much better in this game, and in the second quarter helped the Thunder build up the lead while Chet and SGA were on the bench. Hit a pull-up jumper that got the lead up to 8, then Aaron Wiggins hits a 3 that gets it up to 11, and a dunk by Chet would later extend the lead up to 15, tied for their largest of the series. Can't say it enough, just a great bounce back game for Chet.
Yeah, Shea gets an and 1 to follow that up, and then another 3 by Aaron Wiggins, who was so big this game, caps off a 17-2 run by OKC. The lead was now 21, it gets pushed to 23 with a Shea layup, but the Pacers, as they always do, somehow responded. Just pop off a 10-0 run out of nowhere, cuts the lead down to 13. Credit to OKC though, the big difference between this game and last game, responded to those runs, and they took an 18-point lead going into the half.
On to the second half, the Pacers were able to cut into the lead a little bit, and Aaron Nesmith 3 cut it down to 14, and then a Nembhard layup a little bit later got it down to 13. Again, it kind of felt like Indiana was just hanging around, similar vibes to game 1. OKC responded this time though. Caruso got a bucket, and then Aaron Wiggins hit a 3 that extended the lead back up to 19. This kind of felt like a thing that happened a lot throughout the game, is like in game 1, the Thunder lead was always like, you know, 10 to 13, something like that, and then the Pacers would respond with like a 10-0 run. At that point, it's a 1-possession game. This time, the Thunder got the lead up to like 20-ish early, so whenever the Pacers went on one of those runs, it was still a double-digit lead.
Yeah, Indiana was able to cut into the lead a little bit. Tyrese Halliburton finally got another field goal when he got a floater, just his second field goal of the game. And from there, both teams kind of went back and forth to end the quarter. We had a nice lob from Hartenstein to Chet. So we got some double big minutes in this game from OKC. I think the first of the series happened in this game, and there was some success. So after 3 quarters, OKC is up 93-74, and they take a 19-point lead going into the fourth.
Yeah, and in the fourth, Aaron Wiggins just stayed hot, hit some big threes. Shea after that would put the finishing touches on this game. He finished with 34 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, 4 steals, just a great game from him. Halliburton had 12 fourth quarter points to give him 17, but this is what we like to call garbage time, and then the game is basically out of reach. I mean, very misleading, not a good game for Halliburton.
Yeah, so after 2 games, I mean, what are your thoughts? I think both teams have a reason to be optimistic. For the Pacers, you're still home court. That's all that matters. Like, realistically, the best case scenario was being tied 1-1. I'm sure you would have loved to be up 2-0 in this series, but it's a 68-win Thunder team. That wasn't realistic. And then on the Thunder side, like, you basically have outplayed the Pacers 7 out of the 8 quarters in this series.
I would argue you've outplayed them for all but like 0.3 seconds.
Yeah, the Pacers have barely led so far in this series. So what do you think for the rest of the series after these 2 games in OKC?
I mean, here's the thing. So far, the series is basically going exactly how I thought it was going to go. Pacers were somehow going to steal game 1 because it's what they always do. Thunder with a big response in game 2. Game 3, I think, is going to be like the big deciding factor for this series. If the Thunder can go into Indiana, retake all the momentum, retake home court advantage, I think they're going to be on their way to winning the series in 6 games, like I predicted. If the Pacers win, I think things could get a little bit dicier. Now, we saw this when the Thunder played the Nuggets. You know, they lose game 1 on a stunner, dominate game 2, lose game 3, but then win game 4 and then go on and win the series. So I'm not saying they can't do it, but there's just, again, there's something about this Pacers team and getting them back in their home court. That crowd is going to be on fire for that Pacers team. I still think Oklahoma City pulls the series out in 6, but if the Pacers put up a big one in game 3, maybe that'll sway me.
Yeah, game 3, I mean, obviously it doesn't take a genius to know this. It is the big game in this series. I think in some ways it's a must win for the Pacers. They can go up 2-1. That really puts pressure on OKC. I think right now the pressure is on Indiana to defend home court, but yeah, so far it's been a really fun series. I still like OKC, but the Pacers, they got a great chance coming back to Indiana. So what do you guys think after 2 games of this year's finals? Who do you got? Do you got the Pacers coming back home? Do you got the Thunder after that big win in game 2? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving me a like, and hey, while you're here, check out some of our other content as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.